Alright, hello, my sweethearts, super saubana to all of you. I can see the questions have already started to come in. Let's quickly look at who all are here. Let's welcome Deval, Sarika, Aarti, Shiva, Ranjini, Fatima, Zain, Riddhi, Dhruti Dikshit, Anuradha, Puja Thakkar, Shruti 32, happy Raksha Bandhan to you too. Neelam Gupta, I haven't been able to celebrate Raksha Bandhan too much in my life because first 5 years I went off to boarding school from 8th to 12th. Then my brother went off to America for 10 years. So Raksha Bandhan was never an important festival for me. Apart from, of course, my childhood, because we just made it very convenient. Instead of feeling horrible and terrible that we're not together, my brother would say, okay, whenever we meet, we'll tie. And then at some point in the last 5-7 years, he actually moved to my city, Chennai, which was so fabulous because now Raksha Bandhan is such an important day for both of us being in the same city. So thank you for everyone who's wishing us, means so much to me. Amita Avasthi, how is metaphysics and life coaching related? I don't know about meta, but quantum physics is all about the science that is very difficult to prove because at this point, like at some point in meditation and all of those things that we do, there was no way of scientifically proving what was the impact on the body. But ever since we've gotten into understanding the waves of the brain, and now we're able to look at what our ancestors used to say about why we should speak the right words, why we should have so much focus on having the right thoughts, because now they're able to see the connection between the science of our body, the chemicals produced, the brainwaves produced, the heart math. There's a company which actually measures our aura and our the vibration sent out by our heart, and they say that within 3 seconds of meeting a person we already know whether we like them or not. And why that is because when the frequency meets, if it's a match we like them, if it's not a match we don't know why we can't trust them. So there's just so much of now science proving everything that I think the spiritual world already kind of knew. So I think that's the connection as far as I know, but of course I don't have too much knowledge on the whole thing, but I like to keep myself updated. There are a few teachers who teach all of my work only through the perspective of science. Like there's a man called Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you don't follow him, I highly recommend him. And he goes into so much science, like the covering of the protein of every cell of our body and what reaction it has because of the stress that when we have that, and like another level, the big words that he uses, even I get super impressed. Hi Suchi, hi Deval, hi Manchanda, 1624, Mendi K23, Urmi, Gauri Agarwal. Alright, let's get into the questions. Any plans to do any programs in Gurgaon? I hope soon, ever since COVID has gone away, I haven't really gone back to doing live programs apart from the graduation ceremonies of my programs. So my intention for 2024 is that I start doing live programs again. So if someone's interested, you will definitely get to know and then we will invite you, okay? Hello Pooja, I love your energy a lot, love you loads, your words give me so much energy. Thank you Femi Fashions. Precious mom, I want to start morning routine by 5 a.m. but unable to sleep before 11 due to little kids and housework. Please suggest. My suggestion to you may not be the best suggestion or something that you wanted to hear, but I'm going to say it anyway. Having a consistent morning routine is 10 times more important than making life hard to wake up at a certain time. Okay? Now, if your children are still young and you have a lot of responsibility of the house, give yourself a little more time. I always say this, that I wish I knew at that point in my life that, I'm going to have all of my life to do everything that I want to. But children will grow up. There will come a time where you will be able to delegate all of this housework. You will, over the years, you will tend to be able to find yourself more help. So if right now that's your priority, then make it your priority instead of every day doing it also and not feeling it also. You know, when you're doing something that you are not really enjoying or you're not choosing, then it becomes very heavy and it actually pulls all of our energy down. So if you know you have to do it, I would rather you start to say, I choose to do it. I choose to do it because I want peace at home. I choose to do it because I love my children. I choose to do it because of, add whatever because of to it and start to make that a choice. Now, if you wake up instead of 5 a.m. at 6 a.m., can you still do your morning routine? Check. Ask yourself. You know, I have been waking up really early through COVID, like almost 4:30. And then at some point, I started to have these allergy colds. And I went to a lot of doctors and a lot of I took a lot of allopathy, homeopathy, Ayurveda. And one of the doctors actually told me that, Puja, you're waking up too early. And in my head, I was like, but that's a good thing, right? Brahma Muhurtam and this and that. And they're like, no, your body looks like it's needing more sleep. And then I started to sleep more and I started to wake up at 6:30 instead of 4:30. Can I tell you, my allergies have disappeared. Now, we don't, in the world that we live, the masculine energy speaks so much about this waking up early in the morning. And I know that there's a lot of stories about how successful people wake up in the morning. So I'm a big encourager of waking up early. But I also feel like if basically your home environment is not conducive with your waking up early, your waking up early will leave you more exhausted than fresh. And if that happens, it will directly start to show on your health. I'm back to waking up 4:30 again, but I'm extremely particular that if at night I've not had a good night's sleep or for whatever reason I'm feeling like my body needs more rest, I immediately honor that and I don't wake up. So now I've started to wake up 3 times a week at 4:30 rather than every single day. Even though my alarm goes off in my head, I don't even need a physical alarm. When you get used to waking up at 4:30, you have a brain 3:40 sharp. I don't know why. I will look at my phone and go, oh, okay, I'm awake. But I actually put myself back to sleep through a meditation. So I get to do my meditation also at the time that I want to, and then I put myself back to sleep in case I'm feeling like I'm not up to it, okay? So I'm just going to say this, that in a world where everyone's going to ask you to wake up early, I think there are a lot of other things you have to put in context before you decide to do that, okay? Oh, I'm right at the bottom. Okay, let's see what the questions in the bottom are. Amita Avasthi, you have been such an angel in my life. I derive so much wisdom from your Insta lives and apply it to the day-to-day challenges. So sweet. Star Love Be with Shilpi. Saubana Puja, I want to know how can I create a bridge of dialogues with my 2 sister-in-laws. Shilpi, I have no idea where you stand with them right now, but in case you are trying to get into a dialogue, one of the things I always think of is that come from a pure heart. So even if you are misunderstood right now, even if they are not able to receive your energy right now, just continue to keep doing your side of the duty with as much purity as possible till one day when they see, they see. And you know what, if they never see, be okay with that also, because some relationships are supposed to be bonus. One of them is the in-law relationship, whether it's from your brothers-in-laws or whether it is your husband's brothers-in-laws. You know, all of these in-laws relationships are bonus relationships in our life. So trying to control that other people should like you and to do things for them to like you becomes very, very caging in a relationship. My suggestion is just be nice. And if they are able to be nice, great. If they are not able to be nice, find people who can be nice to you. Because the more attached we get to this idea that I'm going to make it work, the more we give away our power to the hands of the people who may or may not be interested in the same. So I want you to be very careful about when we decide that, you know, be nice. You want to confront them, you can confront them. You want to speak about how you are looking for a better relationship, you can do that. There are many things you can do, but if you are attached to the idea of wanting them to be your friend, can I tell you, most of the time family is not capable of being friend. Most of the time. I'm not saying this is always, but most of the time. My suggestion is make them your best sister-in-laws, but look for friendships outside. Now, I have no idea in what context you had asked me, so I've just given you all the possible contexts that I can think of. Yeah? Beena Adhikari. Hello, Pooja. How one coach should prepare herself to serve better to her clients? Beena, there are a few things I love doing. One is praying. I love requesting Godji to come into the conversation and be present as I help others. It helps me believe that whatever I'm saying, because he's observing and watching, he will guide me in where I need to take this person. So I like to do that. Another thing is always see if you can reread the entire history of your client. I like to know the husband's name, the children's name, the what we had spoken last time, what was the last point we had discussed, what was the homework, so that I can do a quick revision before we go into the new set. So that's a lovely thing to do. If you like, you can even burn a candle or something to kind of invoke the start point of I keep this lovely sound bell, so when I finish any session, I just let it go. And that's like the ending of a session. Again, healing, sound through healing therapy. There's a lot of science to that. So these little mini rituals, I feel like add a lot of base and foundation to the work. Of course, the conversation is going to be the key highlight, but everything else around it also helps. Okay, so see how you can, look your best, be confident in I remember no matter what, right in the beginning, back in 2011 se leke till now, I can say I've always shown up looking a certain way in every session of mine. Just because I'm sitting at home, I'm not going to tie my hair up and make one juda and be like casual ke yaar ek hi one to one nahi to hai. How does it matter? No, it matters. It matters how you show up. It matters how your energy is. It matters how you are speaking and conversing. It matters the kind of being present you are with your client, how present you are, how much you are able to, really make the environment such that it serves you and your client. So see, Beena, how you can do, what you can do to make sure that you can serve the client. I like to do, these are some of the things I do. Dishinsta. I work in a 9 to 9 job. I'm age 30 plus, obviously fed up, so cute. Obviously have financial liability. The problem is I'm not able to find my ikigai. It's confusing. I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know, Dish Insta, if you've come for my Passion to Profit session, I would love to invite you, where I will help you find your passion, then help you monetize it, and then help you scale it. So if you are in a 9 to 9 job, obviously you are fed up. I agree with you on that, because you know what, whenever you will be in a job that's not your ikigai, that's not your highest purpose, you will feel exhausted. So that exhaustion is actually a way of God telling you you're off track. So I would love to help you. One of the things I love doing is the passion test. Just figuring out that what are those topics that you absolutely love doing. Look at all of the things that you get your maximum compliments on, things that you love to do, and then see if you can decipher some way that the world can pay you on the topics that you love doing. You would have done them for free any which ways, but that you're getting paid for it, wow. I would have helped any which ways, but that I get paid for it, wow. So I'd love for you to start to look at in your life, where do you get your maximum compliments? What are you good at? What are the things you absolutely love doing? When you start to answer these questions, there'll be a pattern that emerges. Another thing I give as homework to a lot of my clients is a set of questions that they can ask their closest people, because our closest people always have an idea on our talents and strengths. So, if you just ask I remember at one point my spouse walking in, and I was helping a friend of mine on the phone, and she said, the whole day you're counseling someone or the other, you should become a counselor. And he said it so randomly that I could have just let it pass. But at that point, I was looking for my ikigai, and I said, Puneet, do you really think I can become a counselor? And and then I remember sharing it with one of my closest friends, and she said, don't you remember in school you were all the time counseling? And when it came in, it was so obvious that this is such a perfect match, but I had never seen it in that way, because we tend to take for granted our own talents, because we think agar hamare mein hai to sab mein hoga. While that is not true, it could be very unique to you. Just because answers flow easily for me doesn't mean answers flow easily for everyone. But in my head, I'm thinking that's what must be true. So all the very best, my sweetheart, because you know what? I'd love for you to come for my masterclass, Passion to Profit, and you can actually look at the number below this. When I close today, Gunjan's number will be there. Give her a call and get on to the masterclass. Piggy7598. Ma'am, your height is average, still people bully you for your height. Although you have got a good personality, look and confidence, how to deal with it? For 1 second, Pinky, I was thinking, why are you asking me if my height is average, or why are people bullying me for my height? I'm guessing what you mean is that your height is average and you are still being bullied for it. People can only bully you on things that you are sensitive about. Okay? So that's the only way someone can bully you. My suggestion, there's a scene in Game of Thrones where there is a guy who's a dwarf who's speaking to a guy called Jon Snow, who is a bastard child. And Jon Snow every time gets very upset when someone calls him a bastard, because you know it's very embarrassing, it's shameful, it's demeaning, it's derogatory. So this dwarf, who's also one of the main key characters in Game of Thrones, I think his name is Tyrion. He tells Jon Snow that, you know what, till the time you allow for this to hurt you, people will keep hurting you. The day you said, yes, I'm a bastard, with complete pride, it'll be a very different energy. You'll communicate and you will see people will stop teasing you. He's saying, I never get teased for being a dwarf, because you know what, I own it with more pride than anyone can ever tease me about it. So I'm going to tell you the same thing, Pinky. Notice how do you feel about your height? And you know what, if you are comfortable with your height, no one can make you feel anything. For the longest time, my cousins used to tease me on this big nose that I have on my face. And my brother used to say, you know what, hang my shirt on your nose. Or people used to keep making jokes. I have this Punjabi pakoda nose. So a lot of fun was made of it. I don't know if I ever really felt bad, because I didn't really care, honestly speaking. But there are things you can care about. Like my hair used to be one big issue for me, and I put in a lot of effort to keep it looking as good as I can, because I'm sensitive about it. It is very jadu-like texture, and it needs maintenance. It needs high maintenance, and I put in that effort because I know I am a little sensitive towards it, right? So you have to see, Pinky, how can you become completely comfortable with your height? You know, it's the things that you say to yourself. When I had put on 5-6 kilos of weight, when somebody would say, you know, you put on a lot of weight, in my head I had stories to tell myself so that I can be comfortable with my weight. I used to say, you know what, I'm such a good person, the world needs more of me. Or the size of my heart is half of my weight. Okay, so things like that could calm me down so that I don't overreact to someone's opinion or comments. So see, how can you take your power back? You take your power back when you are able to laugh it or smile at something that you know is your truth, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you rather get comfortable and deeply accept yourself, because when we deeply accept ourselves, when we can deeply love ourselves for who we are, then God sends more such people to love us. When we ourselves reject ourselves, we surround ourselves with people who will reject us. Okay? Let's go to the bottom. Sarika, ma'am, I'm not able to comprehend together what I want to tell in a good way, as in with the flow. How to cultivate that? How can we talk with the flow and so beautifully like you do? Oh, so sweet. So Sarika, the most important thing is to keep on studying. A lot of my flow comes from the amount I have practiced and studied. So I'm going to tell you the same thing. If you want to get into the flow, knowing and understanding your concepts becomes very important. So I remember there used to be a time where I could bucket people's problem. Okay, this is the problem, this is the bucket it belongs. So this person has a clarity issue. Now I had 5 solutions around clarity. This person has a courage issue. Let's look at, I have courage issues with husband, have these solutions. Courage issue with in-laws has these solutions. Courage issue with passion has these solutions. So what I had done was I had compartmentalized all the doubts and questions, frequently asked questions hote hain na, like that, into like, okay, people can ask me this and this. If they ask me this, I'll answer this. If they ask me this, I'll answer this. This connects to this connects to that. You'll start to see a flow getting created, and then as you keep studying and educating yourself in that matrix will fit in all of your other information for it to come out as and when required. So flow comes over time. Okay, flow is mastery, and mastery happens through a lot of practice. Don't expect it to be there right in the beginning. That is being very unfair on yourself. Okay, but over time you'll see in some topics your flow will be there, because those topics you are more sure of than the others. The more sure you get in every topic, the better your flow will be. Okay, so don't worry at all. It is a very, very, what do you call it, doable. It's a very achievable target that you're putting. All it needs is practice. Sometimes we look at a master and we think what they're doing is impossible. We don't realize they put in 10 years of hard work. You put in 10 years of hard work in anything, my sweetheart, you will become a pro. Okay. Jai Krishna, is Malika your student, ma'am? Of course, and I am so proud of her, my God. Coach Kakali, my mentor always behaves rudely and discourages me. I try to understand his point always, but it makes me so upset. I'm confused. Please help, ma'am. Wrong mentor. Okay, when you make someone mentor, one of the things your coach or your mentor is supposed to do is to have more belief in you than what you have in yourself. If anyone is behaving rudely or is discouraging you, then they are not your mentor at all. You may be calling them that, but that's like going to your doctor who makes you more sick. So then he's not your doctor at all. You can call him what you like, but you know what? He's not. And the same way, I'm going to say you need a new person. Maybe at some point this person has helped you because of some reason, and now they are not able to continue to help you. Maybe you need a different set of people to now start to support you. So my suggestion is change your mentor, sweetheart. This one's not working for you. Eternally yours. Please help me with time management. I feel that I can do more in a day for my goals. But what I'm doing right now, at the end of the day, I feel bad that I wasn't enough. To this, I will answer two ways, okay? There are people who are wasting a lot of time, and there are people who are just too harsh on themselves. So if you are someone who's too harsh on herself, I want you to make a list of 3 important things per day. And if you get those 3 done, you've got your day done. You know, there used to be a time when I used to write 20, 30 things in my things to do. And if I managed to do 23, I used to say, but 7 didn't happen. And I was so harsh on myself that I started to struggle, because I started to get exhausted and feeling this feeling of fatigue by lunch, because there was so much weight on my shoulders. Can I tell you, today morning, every day when I wake up, I have only one agenda to achieve. So for example, for today, I had to do some videos for ads. That's all I needed to achieve. If I got that done, that's a tick. After that, I'm going to waste my time. So this ad videos got over at 2:20 and my Insta Live was at 4 o'clock. 2:20 to 4 o'clock, I have just been relaxing. There's lovely weather in Chennai today. So I had worn the kambal, drinking my hot tea and really just enjoying the weather. And to someone, it may seem like, oh my God, such a waste of time. Puja, you had another 15 things that you need to achieve. I got one big thing out for the day. I'm so happy. So I think just starting to realize that, you know what, we are, as women especially, need to divide our day into prep, delivery and rest. And some of us just believe like rest is waste. Not true. Just the way charging your phone makes it capable of performing every day, charging ourselves is as important. Now, having said that, I will give you 2-3 tips on how you can make sure that you start to use your day better. So few things that I do. One is I have a very solid morning routine. So in the morning itself, I schedule my things to do into my calendar, which means I won't just write ad videos to be made. I will put ad videos to be made from 10 to 2. So can you see how it's fully scheduled? When you schedule your things to do, that's when it goes from wishes to goals. Okay, that's one thing. The second thing is 3 minutes of any activity that I have said I'm going to do, I have to do. Which means if I told myself I will go to the gym, then 3 minutes is the minimum I must do, and then after that I can stop in case I'm feeling lazy. But 3 minutes is minimum. What I've seen is starting is where we struggle. Doing it after we've started is not hard. Okay, so anything that you want to do it first for 3 minutes. Rather, my suggestion is go 1 week of doing it 3 minutes only for the week. By the end of the week, you will feel desperate to start to do it. So, I think Atomic Rule has this, Atomic Habits, this book by James Clear has this beautiful habit of the 2-minute rule. I've just made it 3 minutes because I like the number 3 over 2, so I think that's why. But you can keep it even the 2-minute rule. What is the 2-minute rule? You said you're going to go to the gym, put on your shoes, take a walk in the gym for 2 minutes, okay? You said you're going to write a book, start writing the first page for 2 minutes. You said you're going to, do something, do it for 2 minutes, because it's the start point. Remember, all of our hesitation is sitting in the start point. All of resistance, big 5-headed snake, is sitting in the start point. You start, everything will become easier. Okay, so that's the second thing. Another thing I think is you can prepare yourself for the next day, the previous day. So I love to set intention at night on what I want to achieve the next day, so that my entire body is in sync with what I want to do. If we keep saying to ourselves, I don't want to, oh my God, I hope I don't have to do that, or I wish I could choose to do something else. If we keep speaking this language, we are going to land up not feeling like doing things. So procrastination will become our second personality. My suggestion is, once you know you've got to do something, see if you can build pleasure into it. What in that can make you feel pleasureful? For example, I used to not like swimming so much, but I wanted to swim every day because I think that cold water immersive therapy is one of the best things you can do for your body. Okay, so I started to, every time I would enter the pool, I would say, oh, this is heaven, oh, this is heaven, even though I would be shivering and dying, and I wanted to say, yuck, I want to get out of the pool, God, the water is so cold. Those used to be my first reflex action words, but I would say, this is heaven, this is beautiful. Can I tell you, till today, I think it's been 4-5 years since I did this, till today, if I enter the pool, my brain automatically will say, this is heaven, this is beautiful. Because it's so trained that the entry of the pool is so connected to these two sentences. And you know what? Anything that we can attach pleasure to, we will be able to overcome. Anything that we keep attaching pain to, hey, karna padega, gym jana padega, chithi likhni padegi, phone karna padega. And then what do? We procrastinate. Our energy is highest in the morning, but we want to do that activity 9 in the evening. Our willpower is at its lowest. फिर वो होगा नहीं, फिर वो अगले दिन पे चले जाएगा, फिर we will start procrastinating. If you are procrastinating anything, let me tell you, try to make sure that you do it before noon every single day. Before noon, there's a certain energy of achievement that exists in the world. So anything you try to achieve by lunch will be far easier because you're not yet in your fatigue zone. After lunch, we move into what we call the exhaustion, the fatigue. Then unless you're taking that 20-minute power nap, the chances are that your energy is still falling. Yes, if you take a 20-minute power nap, which is another suggestion I will give you, after lunch, see if you can do a 20-minute, you don't have to sleep. All you need to do is just lie down and do any form of being with yourself, self-reflection, just ease, no agenda required. It helps a lot to regain the energy you've lost in the first half of the day. See how you can use all of this, sweetheart, because you know what? I think time management is one of those topics that just never ends because we are just never happy. Okay? So see how you can start to build happiness into your time management. I am about 60% productive and 40% okay in the day, and I find that my 100%. Like, I don't want to be 100% in the day. If I'm able to use the 24 hours at the 60% level, I'm actually in a happy space. Because for me, my happiness is more important than things done. And so whatever I do, I must do it with joy and fun. That to me is primary, okay? Because otherwise, even if I land up doing it, I won't feel joy and fun. And if I don't feel joy and fun and a sense of achievement in my life on a daily basis, I won't be able to run the marathon. Then I will be just doing a sprint, which means 5 days I'll do a fabulous job of waking up in time and managing my day beautifully. But eventually a time will come where I will just get exhausted because I would have overdone it. So I would rather you run at the 60% speed, like how we have the 60 kilometers per hour on the road. Run at that speed, but go far. Then run 100 kilometers speed just for 1 minute. True or not? See how you can use all of this. Jimir Puri, hi Pooja, not yet received my certificate in my mailbox. Oh, not to worry at all. My suggestion would be just call up this number 7823 988 142. 7823 988 142. And you know what? I hope that your certificate will be with you at its fastest. Sometimes what can happen is that we've sent the certificate, but it goes into your trash. It can go into your spam mail. So that may have happened. They will re-regulate it for you so that you receive it in the right way. I have a feeling that awakening certificates have already gone out. Kirti Karachiwala, how to know our higher purpose? Honestly, the only way we can know our higher purpose is to keep moving towards our passions very passionately. So what do I mean when I say that? Mahatma Gandhi wanted to become a person who speaks the truth. Truth was in his value system. And because he loved truth so much, he then went on to become a lawyer for justice because that was something he was passionate about. And then he landed up reaching Africa. And then he landed up realizing there that the Britishers were not doing a fair thing to what they were doing. And then he came back to India and started to fight the freedom movement. Now, there's no way he could have known that at the age of 25. It is only through him following his passions that, let's say passion lives in the heart of an onion. How do you reach the heart of an onion? 1 layer at a time, correct? So what you do is you keep on peeling and unpeeling and unpeeling and unpeeling till you reach the heart. I feel like for all of us to know our higher purpose, one of the things very important is to follow our passion. At some point I wrote, I love reading. I love reading non-fiction books. I love reading self-development books. I want to start my own book club. I want to become a life coach. I want to start to help women. I want to start to help women to become financially free. Can you see how slowly but surely I have found my dot? I like to call it a dot. It's like, what it basically means is, if there are 7 billion, I think 7-8 billion people on the planet, then we can't help all of them, right? So who is it we want to help? So I want to help a woman who wants to become financially free through a spiritual journey that will enlighten her in a manner that she should be able to materialistically make her life the best possible life. So let's say if this is my current mission. Is it my highest mission? I don't know. That will only get revealed to me as I keep going on this journey. I feel like every 2-3 years I tend to reinvent myself because I get bored with my own stuff. So if you are someone like me, then I want you to know that instead of calling it your higher purpose, start to enjoy the journey. Wherever you are at is the perfect place for you to be at that point. And if you enjoy it enough, a time will come where you'll enjoy the next part and then the next part and the next part, and you'll keep on evolving. If we are not going downwards, then we are going upwards. So stagnating is not an option. Doing the same thing is not an option. You have to keep on improving if you want to keep on growing. True or not? So for every single one of you here who's looking for a higher purpose, start to do whatever you're doing with a lot more passion, with a lot more love, with a lot of service attitude, and you will start to see opportunities opening up for you. I feel like anything you become too good at, when your competency beats the average of the world starts to get attracted to you. It is our job to work very hard till we can become so competent that we are above average of the world. Hello all the sweet sisters on this group. आप लोगों को happy Rakhi. आपको भी. Okay, let's go right to the bottom and see what's happening there. Ritu Bhardwaj, hi Pooja, need your blessings. I have launched my new course today. Oh, massive congratulations and all the very best, my sweetheart. Neha, ma'am, please answer how to deal with parents' illness. I'm not able to do anything. So Neha, that's always hard. Any form of illness is hard. What I like to give a meaning to illness on this planet is to just start to say that this person needs more attention. So any soul that needs more attention will tend to fall sick, which means that we need to give them more love, we need to give them more attention. If you can't give them anything else, at least love and attention is something you can do. Okay, now what else can you do? You can ask yourself that question on a daily basis. I think it's very, very important to understand that as our parents' machinery, or like how our car needs a lot more servicing as it grows older, the longer it has been with you, the more often it will go for service. The more we have to start to understand that the longer our parents have been on this planet, the more servicing they are going to need. And I think instead of becoming surprised at the fact that they need more servicing, I tell my mom all the time, Mom, every morning when you wake up, firstly thank God that you've woken up, and then you look at, okay, today what is hurting, what do I need to deal with? Okay, so that you're not surprised, or you're like, not complaining, or not, now that the car has gotten old. Okay, so how about accepting that as your reality? So when my mom says, आज मेरा कंधा दुख रहा है, या आज मेरी गर्दन दुख रही है, या आज मेरी back दुख रही है, you know what? That's the part of the journey now. And you know what? For being alive, that is the cost. When you age, that's the cost, right? So you do whatever it takes. And I always keep telling her that, do whatever it takes. If you feel like you need to start to do yoga, if you feel like you need to start to do stretching, earlier on, you could get away with not having to do much. The older our parents get, the more they need to start to attend to themselves a little more seriously, because they can't get away. And as children, I think our job is to love them, because you know what? I know a lot of people say that, okay, at least in their young age, if they had looked after themselves, they were busy looking after you. So I feel like, how can I turn around today and tell them you should have looked after yourselves better so that you wouldn't have been a burden on us? On the contrary, my thought is that, what if they were busy looking after you? What if they were busy making this life gorgeous for you? Now it's your time to give back. So see how you can, comprehend all of this. I don't know if in your question there was also a part where you are fearing that this illness can even take them away, or you have that fear of death for them, or if that's a part of your question also, my sweetheart, then I want you to know that we need to change our relationship with death itself. This is so important, that we have made something that is going to happen to all of us. Nobody is going to escape it. Not the king, not the prime minister, not anyone on this planet, right? And yet we have such a bad relationship with death, where we think of it as a bad thing. What if we had to start to believe that death is a way of us going and connecting to the highest power on this world, to the supreme? That is our Milan, right? And just the way we get so excited when we are going to meet some of our favorite relatives if they are coming down from America, imagine if we put that energy into death, that that person is now going to be in the best place. So why not celebrate the passage then, instead of thinking of why we are not physically now in touch anymore? I always say this, that everybody who's ever lost a parent will tell you that when they left them physically, spiritually they got even more closer. Because now you have hotline with God, you are able to feel them energetically. कभी उनका गाना पड़ता है, कभी उनका खाना आ जाता है तुम्हारे सामने. Their favorite things are all the time around you, and you can feel them in spirit. So that's another thing. If the illness ka answer for you is the trouble is how to look after them, or how to see them in their suffering or pain, that of course, Neha, is very hard to do. So pray a lot more, my Jan. What is in our control, do all of that. And what is not in your control, leave it to God. Build so much faith and surrender in God that you should know that He's not going to let your closed ones suffer because of the love you have for Him. So see if you can start to build a new, more deeper, more beautiful relationship with Godji, because I feel like whenever I don't have the answer, I just look up and say, Godji, here you need to come in. And then seriously, He comes in. Seriously, He will look after the people I love most. So I believe that so strongly, so that has become my truth. My suggestion, make up beliefs of the kind that serve you. So I hope somewhere in this you have found how it is that you need to deal with your parents' illness, Meri Jaan. Chitti Shailendra, ma'am, I'm feeling very lonely these days, and because of this, I'm not able to focus on my dreams. Chitti Shailendra, you know, my entire tribe of sisterhood was created because somebody felt this way. I felt this way, people in my tribe felt this way. So I just want you to know you're not alone, Meri Jaan. Okay, you may be feeling lonely these days, but I want you to come off for one of my sessions and start to belong to a tribe so beautiful that you start to make friends here, that you start to go on a journey of living your dreams, holding hand in hand with so many other women. Today I have a tribe of over 5,000 women who are a part of my level 2, level 3 or level 4 programs, and I would love to invite you. Why do you want to live life alone when there is now a sisterhood that is willing to believe in you, to love you, to care for you, to speak with you, to, you know, whatever your needs are. So don't do this alone, Meri Jaan. Number is 7823 988 142. Okay, 7823 988 142. Speak to Gunjan and get into some course of mine so that we can start to create a world for you where you know, Esther Perel has this beautiful sentence that I'm in love with. Today we expect from a man what a village used to provide us earlier. Let's go back to create those beautiful village for ourselves of supportive friends so that we are no longer dependent on 1, 2 or 3 people who are going on letting us down, because of which we are getting lonelier and lonelier. Karishma Kadam. My sister always says my talks demotivate her and discourage her, where I am showing her reality, then see ways. Karishma, you know what? It doesn't take much intelligence to show people reality. You give me any situation, I can tell you in that what all can go wrong. My suggestion would be, darling, instead of showing her reality, build belief in her that she will be able to. Leave the work of showing reality to the Masis and the Phoopis and the Buajis and all those people who think that it is so smart and so clever that, you know what, I'm able to fix things or show people what can go wrong. That doesn't take much intelligence. Our own doubt and fear speaks to us all the time in that language. So I'm going to recommend to you, for a week, I want you to experiment to take up a challenge where you only can give hope to your sister or you can't speak. Either you speak positive things or you can't speak. Don't make it your manifesto to show her what can go wrong. Our own brain does a fabulous job of it. We don't need any external validation for what can go wrong. That though we know. Tell me what can go right. Tell me how I'll be able to do it. And you know what I have seen? Even when someone can't do it, but you believe enough in them, they will start to. If you go back and notice in school which was your favorite subject, you will realize it wasn't your favorite subject. It was your favorite teacher that made your favorite subject. It's not that you loved numbers. The year you did well in maths was the year you liked the teacher. The next year again you went back to becoming zero anda because the teacher changed. So understand this concept that whoever it is that is motivating you, if they believe in you more than you believe in yourself, somehow you're able to look at yourself through their eyes. And when you do that, the way you show up in life, your intentions, your expectations, everything changes, and therefore life changes. You know, this morning I was watching a video where Deepak Chopra was speaking about how back in 1980s, they were doing this experiment where they were giving these rabbits heavy cholesterol food. And to 3 groups they were giving this, and then this one group's blood test of the rabbits was just not showing any cholesterol. So then they checked in that how come 2 groups have such heavy cholesterol and 1 group doesn't have, and they noticed that the food keeper or the food giver to these rabbits used to love rabbits, and every time he was feeding these rabbits, he would caress them, he would love them, and even though he was feeding them poison, because all of that food was poisonous for the rabbits, not real poison but like not good for them, what had happened was that because of the love and the belief that they were receiving, the chemicals in the brain were able to change that cholesterol into some other kind of thing that the rabbits were able to consume and create energy from. So imagine that is the power of love and belief. So Karishma, from today onwards, I'm requesting you to become another kind of sister, where instead of showing reality was they were being fed poison. But fact was that, you know what, the poison never showed up as poison in that person's body because they didn't believe that it was poison because of the way it was being served. So from today onwards, see if you can start to show more hope and more encouragement. You know, I have a husband who's very easily able to tell me what all can go wrong. He has a pessimistic personality. I'm an extreme optimistic. Okay, so when we come together, we have similar issues like how you might be having with your sister. But you know what? Over the years, he's realized that in protecting Puja, I actually demotivate her. So he's had to change his style. So now he'll just say it once and then he'll say, but you know better and you can handle it easily, so go do what you want to. He's just adding those few extra sentences after he's warned me, because from his side he needs to also warn me, because otherwise his heart gets palpitations. So you know what? At least we've come with a way of how he now understands he needs to speak to me so that I don't get discouraged. Yeah? Aarti, sometimes I feel so exhausted and low that I just can't do the work, and I want to, so how to bounce back to work in that energy. Aarti, I think understanding that life is a roller coaster is very important, and that if you've had a really productive day one day, the next day the chances are the crash will come. So start to understand that life goes up and down, and not try to go in life like that. We will still have the upward trend, but it will be up, down, upward trend, like how the roller coaster goes, and not like a rocket. Okay, once you understand that and you start to give yourself permission, then you stop trying to fight it. You know, me around my menstrual cycle, I'm just not able to act with the same energy that I have for the rest of the month. So now that I know that, last week I had some shoot to do, and that day I got my periods, I was like, okay, I'm not doing it. Even though the recording person came home, I said, you know what, I'm going to postpone this for next Friday. And he was just looking at my face, and I was like, you know what, in that energy, I don't want to do it. So Aarti, I feel like we all need to give ourselves a lot more permission to be able to manage our exhaustion in a world where we are playing so many roles. You know, in one role something happens, all our roles get shaken up. True or not? And here we are trying to be superwoman. I think there's a superwoman syndrome that's happening in the world right now, where we are just not willing to honor our emotions anymore because we are so busy outbeating the men. But you know what? They were built for this race. We were built as divine feminine, which means we need to remove all of our deadlines and go on a journey where we enjoy as much as we have to enjoy as much as we have to be productive. You leave out the joy and you only be productive, you will burn out, Meri Jaan. And I am seeing so many women right now coming to me with complete burnout. And one of the signs of burnout is that even when they are burnt out, they don't even call it burnout. They are still looking for how can I bounce back. Okay, so I know you, so I know I can say to you that Aarti, you are a very capable woman who's going to become a rock star, if not already. So just allow yourself the speed of the divine. Okay, there is divine speed in everything, and when we rush things up, we may become high achievers, but we actually land up getting very exhausted, very burnt out, and that's what I don't wish for anybody. And because I've lived in that space for very long, I want you to know today, the way I run my business is I am so easy, so relaxed, so enjoying every moment of it, because I realized that I had started to get on a race that had no end. That I was going faster and faster, and the faster I was going, the more frustrated I was getting on why I couldn't go faster than that. Okay, the opportunities in the world were becoming bigger and coming more frequently than what I could take on, and that was annoying me. And instead of rising, even though I was becoming more and more successful, I feel like my success was becoming the burden on me. And so I would like you to know this, that as women, let's go back into the divine feminine. Let's enjoy our cup of tea every day. Let's take some deep breaths. Let's slow down everything and really look at, after every important activity, ask yourself, did I enjoy it? And if your answer is yes, only then you're allowed to move to the next one. And you start to do this, one day you will come back, Aarti, and say thank you to me for not letting you get onto a race that has no end, or the end is only a terrible end. Hai na? Amala Murlidharan. Oh, it's already 4:54. My God. Okay, let me answer this question and then move to... is it too much to ask from a husband to spend 5 minutes with me in a day? I'm called immature and childish when I feel bad. What can you do? What can you do? What can I do? Okay. Amala, you know, the problem is that anytime we are not suiting the narrative of the opposite person, the opposite person's easiest way to control us is to shame us. So whenever somebody uses words like immature, childish, or any labeling onto you, please know that is an act of trying to manipulate and control you. The minute someone says any bad words to me, where I hear someone saying, you know, Puja, you're so greedy, Puja, you're so this, Puja, you're so immature, Puja, you're so childish, Puja, you're so stupid, Puja, you're so silly. Anytime I hear words like this, I say thank you. Because I immediately know that what is happening here now is no longer the need for righteousness, it is the need for control. That's what's happening with you. So, is it too much to ask for your husband for 5 minutes? No, but it's not about the 5 minutes at all, Amla, you know that. It's not about the 5 minutes. It is about the equation you have with your spouse where all his needs must be met by you, but none of your needs are important enough for him. And when you are in a relationship like that, you can do how much ever you want. Eventually, you will realize that you're not getting anything back in return. So till the time you leave yourself open and vulnerable to him, you're going to keep getting hurt. So you need to go on a journey of building yourself up, to start to get your self-esteem from outside, to start to raise yourself in confidence and self-love. And as you grow in confidence and self-love, this man will no longer be able to control you because you will start to validate yourself. His calling you immature and childish will only put a smile on your face because you'll know exactly what's happening there. And then once you know all of that, sometimes what I've seen is when our energy changes, our spouse realizes she's no longer weak and they start to change because of that. And that's a lovely place to be in. And those that don't change, then we change enough that we are able to leave. So see how you can go on a journey of making yourself so smart, so strong, so amazing that nobody in this world should be able to control you by labeling you in any form so that you start to feel so bad that you retreat. If he hurts you enough every time you ask for those 5 minutes, he knows you'll stop asking them. While the truth is you'll get so badly damaged and wounded that you know what, you will in the process start to self-doubt yourself that am I asking? Like you put in this question, am I asking for too much? You know what the answer is, you're not. But why are you asking it in that manner? Because you've lost your own sense of knowingness, which is what happens when we are surrounded by people who start to make us feel mad for asking the right questions. Okay, so I don't want you to live in this energy anymore. I want you to take a 2-year journey to start to build yourself to a place where you become so awesome, so strong, so amazing that no longer you need to bend to what other people think of you or make that important, because what you think of yourself is the most important thing. I remember had this quotation on my Insta page which said, for you to like me is not your business, it is mine. It's not your job to like me, it's mine. Yeah. It's not your job to like me, it's mine. And I'm going to give you the same thing, Amala. It's not his job to like you, it's yours. And the day you like yourself enough, you'll start to notice he will also start to like you and the world around you will also start to like you. But first you have to like yourself. Square Loop is asking, do you believe in coffee reading? I believe in all the readings. Okay, if they suit me, I believe in them. If they don't suit me, I don't believe in them. All of the spiritual realm stuff, astrology, vastu, crystals, coffee readings, nadi shastras, parrot readings, Everything, you know what, I believe there is a science to it, there's no doubt about it in my head, but who you go to also is very important. And there are so many quacks in that industry, so many people who are only for money doing all of the work, that they're using all of their powers and turn the entire industry into a joke for their own convenience. Those are the people I don't trust. So when I don't trust someone and I know all they are doing is putting fear in me so that they get money out of me, अगर आपने ये वाला यज्ञ नहीं किया या ये वाले मंदिर नहीं गए या ये वाला नहीं किया तो फिर आपका ये लाइफ में ये हो जाएगा और वो हो जाएगा. Those people have no control over me. But if I'm genuinely able to trust someone as a healer, as a reader, and I realize that this is not, they're not doing it for money, but they actually have a gift that they are wanting to share with the world, then I love all of this. Okay, oh man, we reached 4:59. Very quickly, let me announce the winners of the book this week. We have Mindset Coach _ Manali, Royal Ruya, and Dr. Charu Bansal. Congratulations to all three of you for winning my book. This is because you participated in the wonderful challenge where you took a picture of mine, shared it in your stories, put your favorite takeaway and tagged me. If you are interested in winning my book, Unlocking the Golden Cage, which is only available through this challenge, then what I'd love for you to do is take a picture quickly. In a moment, I'm going to post for you. And then I would love for you to just share your takeaway on that photo, put it on your stories and make sure you tag me so that I can share it in my stories too. Yeah? Alright, let me quickly post for you. With the cup. Tell me some poses. Let me go right to the bottom. Oh, Royalry already won last time. Let's pick someone else. Okay, we will pick someone else. Rather, I have a list of 5-6 people. I'm going to send it to Divya, who've been asking for where we can get the book from. Just make sure you do the activity so that we can gift you the book, okay? Please start a session for husbands. Someday, I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. For husbands, for orientations, for mother-in-laws and daughter-in-laws. There are so many topics that are sitting in my head that I know I need to do, but I haven't done, okay? Loads of love. Thank you for coming. God bless. Bye. Ciao.